Hi, and welcome back to the 7 Stages of Love video series. This is our third video on the 7 Stages of Love, and I think you're going to love it. Thanks for all the comments, by the way, on the first 2 videos. The response to the series has been really amazing, and I'm glad to know that I've been able to provide something that really does help people. Now, if you missed the first 2 videos in the series, I highly recommend that you stop right now and go back and watch them. They really are required viewing for anyone who wants to have their relationship really work and have more peace and more happiness more often. I want you to get the full value of this series, so you should really go back and watch them in order. Don't worry, I'll be waiting for you here with video 3. In the first 2 videos, I taught you about each of the stages of love and what happens during each stage, what to expect, so that you're more free to be yourself and allow your partner to do the same throughout your journey. I told you that once you understand each of the stages, what to expect and what to do, you'll be able to have the kind of relationship that you really want, perhaps even one that moves you to tears. I really need you to believe that you can do this, that you're capable of it, and that it is possible for you. Let me have some of the people I've worked with share with you how it is for them after learning this stuff. Remember, these are some of the hardest cases, people who thought they might not make it. And these are the results that are possible for you as well. Take a listen. Okay, so now that you've seen that you can do this, you've seen what can be accomplished, we need to talk about what to do. That's what I want to teach you today, because it's important to know each of the stages. It's important to understand what stage you're in, but that knowledge alone won't get you all the way to where you want to be. You need to know what to do in each stage so that you can continue to move through each of them effectively. Otherwise, you end up getting stuck. You might be experiencing that right now in your relationship, and it's really not fun. It can be full of anxiety and uncertainty, fear. Make sure, by the way, damn it, I hate that. Okay, so now that you've seen that you can do this, you've seen what can be accomplished, we need to talk about what to do. That's what I want to teach you today, because it's important to know each of the stages. It's important to understand what stage you're in, but that knowledge alone won't get you all the way to where you want to be. You need to know what to do in each stage so that you can continue to move through each one effectively. Otherwise, you end up getting stuck. You might be experiencing that right now in your relationship. It's really not fun. It can be full of anxiety and uncertainty. Now, as we continue, make sure to download and print the PDF for this session. In this video, for each stage, I'll give you actions to deepen your love, improve your connection, and increase your happiness in your relationship. I'll also give you actions to take if you find yourself stuck in a stage. I'll tell you how to recognize if you're stuck and then what to do about it. So here we go. Stage 1. So here we go. Stage 1, the high stage. This is the stage where you find connecting qualities. It's also the one where you either feel understood or not. Use this stage to develop truthfulness and togetherness by developing rituals. So here we go. Stage 1, the high stage. This is the stage where you find connecting qualities. It's also the one where you either feel understood or not. Use this stage to develop truthfulness and togetherness by developing rituals that are only yours. Now, when you're stuck in stages 1 or 2, which I'll be talking about in a moment, it isn't realistic, but you might be someone who has a kind of addiction to it. That is an addiction to the flood of hormones. That becomes your attraction. and that means that you can't move through. If this is you, you might find yourself fighting for that high rather than for the relationship itself. If you are stuck and you find you cannot move through, consider getting some support to overcome this addiction. You'll be happy to know that at the 7 stages of love, we do offer that kind of help. Now, stage 2 is the coming down stage. In this stage, reveal yourself as the individual that you are, your beliefs, your aspirations. Be somebody that wants to evoke individuality in your partner as well. Doing this can be fearful for some because you might realize in this stage that maybe you're not a good fit. You might not be willing to tolerate some of the traits that begin to show up in your partner. Don't let that get in the way. If it's difficult now, it will be far more difficult later. To be happy, each of you has to know that you have the freedom to be 100% yourselves. No pretending. And then stage 3, the choice stage. In this stage, start opening up authentically about what really matters to you. Be willing to make requests, even if they might sound a bit demanding. This is the stage where you begin to solidify the ground on which the relationship can grow. Acknowledge each other's differences as part of the mosaic that makes up the couple that you are. Set up regular time together to discuss what a future could look like. Note where you're on the same page and where you differ. Is a compromise worth it to you? You'll find yourself choosing the relationship or not, and you'll do it over and over again during this stage. Now, how you know you're stuck is that you and your partner might start to experience never getting to the bottom of anything. Problems between you continue. How you know you're stuck is that you and your partner might start to experience never getting to the bottom of anything. Problems between you continue to come up over and again as though there's no resolution. You might notice how hard it is to give up fighting for being right, and you might notice the same in your partner. The only way to get beyond being stuck, if you are in this stage, is to get to a serious response to the question, why? Your own personal why. Why a relationship and why this one? Tell yourself the truth so you can powerfully choose. If you're in, you want to be 100% in. And if you're out, you want to be 100% out, so that there's no loose ends or misunderstood communications. Now, stage 4, the brain dance. In this stage, continue to develop and absolutely maintain your rituals. Have a sure structure for having a date night or a day. No less than once every 2 weeks, but weekly if you can swing it. Set up an hour a week for good talks, the opportunity to clear the air and to make new requests or adjust previous ones. Being stuck in this stage is tricky. The reason for that is that this stage lasts the entire relationship. It's in the background and it continually shapes the couple's experience of the relationship and of one another. But what can happen is you can revert back to stage 3. The rituals disappear. No claims for date night or day. The garden of your relationship is definitely dying. If you find this happening, then relate to it like you're back in stage 3 again and go back. Whoops. Stage 4, the brain dance. In this stage, develop and maintain the rituals that you've developed. Have a sure structure for having a date, night, or day, no less than, I better start this shit. Stage 4, the brain dance. In this stage, Continue to develop and maintain the rituals that you have. Have a sure structure for having a date night or day, no less than once every 2 weeks, weekly if you can swing it. Set up an hour a week for good talks, the opportunity to clear the air and to make new requests or adjust previous ones. Being stuck in this stage is tricky. The reason for that is that this stage lasts the entire relationship. It's in the background and it continually shapes the couple's experience of the relationship itself and of one another. But what can happen is you can revert back to stage 3. The rituals have disappeared. Maybe there's no claims for a date night or day. The garden of your relationship is definitely dying. If you find this happening, then relate to it like you are in stage 3 again and go back. Get clear on your why and start creating new conversations for the future. But the most important thing to do is to choose 100% in or 100% out. If you need help, we're here for that. And then stage 5, the co-creating stage. What an amazing stage. This stage has the qualities of competence and understanding. You want to cultivate these, and you do that by having projects that matter to you both. A purpose in your being together, a purpose that is big enough to get you through minor grievances and upsets quickly. You won't ever find yourself stuck in this stage. It's an active stage and not one that you actually move through, but rather one that matures over time. It's the fruits of stage 4 that give life to this stage. So boredom will be your red flag. Bored in a routine that might seem mundane and a purpose that isn't getting you out of bed in the morning. If you see yourself in this, then join a community, a group, something that is organized that both you and your partner can feel useful and alive. If this is out of reach emotionally, then it's back to stage 3. Don't be disappointed. This is not uncommon to hop in and out of stage 3 many times. It's actually very healthy. And now we're in stage 6, the itch. Maintain focus in this stage, focusing on stage 4 and 5 activities. And then this stage will have very little negative impact on your relationship. If and when it does show up though, support each other in that nothing is wrong. It's a natural progression that will fade away. If the stage doesn't fade and you find yourself or your partner isolating from one another, then reach out. It's time to have some outside structure to help you rebuild or redevelop something new within the agreements of the couple. In this is your relationship and nothing is off limits, provided it lives in the agreements between the two of you. As human beings, we change from head to toe about every 7 years or so, and that includes our emotional bodies too. There's nothing wrong here, but if you want the couple to remain a couple, it might take some creativity. And then stage 7, the awakening stage, boom, you've made it through a cycle. Bask in it, but don't get lazy. The relationship still requires your attention. Attend to the garden. Don't let grievances build up over time. Maintain a structure of communication. It's not uncommon for couples to have more separation in this stage. Sleeping separately is not uncommon. Maybe there's a little less physical intimacy too. Man caves come up and she sheds are all in this stage, but not like a problem, just an expression of the confidence and power of being a couple. Now, if you won't come out of your cave or she's locked up in her she shed, then you might be stuck. You see, stage 1 is newly on the horizon and it needs to be welcomed. So if you see that that's happening and you see that you're stuck, make more time together, demand it. Look at your partner with new eyes. Search for aspects of their character that you either haven't seen before or see from a new perspective. Let yourself fall in love all over again. Now, here are just a few things that people often comment. They say, I can't do this. Here's what I say to that. You're always doing something. And whatever you're doing is either building the relationship you really want or it isn't. Choose to do that which will give you more of what you really want. And for your time and your money, this really is it. Another thing that people say, it's not my fault my relationship isn't working. Look, it is likely true that it isn't your fault, but it is your relationship. And because it's yours, and one of you must step up, given you're the one that's here, it sounds like it will more than likely be you. Relationships are generally nobody's fault. They simply take a kind of approach that most of us have never been taught. And then lastly, shit. All right. And then I always seem to find the wrong person. Well, I have some very good news for you. Are you ready? There is no right person. So whatever person you've chosen is the one for you right now. And it is the one to work with until you make another choice. Within this program, you might find this one is the perfect one after all. And then lastly, we've been together too long. I think it's hopeless. I promise you, nothing is hopeless. Though I understand you might feel that way, no matter how long you've been together, relationships can be untangled and love can rise to the top again. I've seen it more times than I can count. Every relationship, no matter how good, fall out of love. That's why it requires a commitment to redevelop feelings of love again. In this program, I will teach you how to stimulate the hormones of stage 1 with your partner, and you will find new ways to see love between you. Now, it's been awesome sharing this information with you and seeing some of the results that some of you have reported. And that's why I put this video series together. It's been rewarding and fun creating and sharing this with you. I've been getting great comments and I love the interaction. You know what? I don't think that's too much. All right, I'm going to go back up here. It's been awesome sharing this information with you and seeing the results. And that is why I put this video series together. It's been rewarding and fun for me. Now, I know these free videos have already made an impact on many of the people that I've heard from, and maybe it's even helped you. Now, you might be wondering what it takes to really effectively put all of this into practice. We know how easy it is to slip back into old habits and patterns. I want you to feel the love and confidence in your relationship you deserve. So I've created an at-home coaching program designed around these principles called the 7 Stages of Love. If you're interested in taking what you've gotten even further and going the next step, I've put together a special offer just for you. Something that will give you guidance and support as you start changing your relationship for the better. A way for you to get the help you need to apply these ideas to your specific situation. There's even a community of people that are on the same journey you are that can support you and who will be able to understand and empathize with whatever you're working on in your relationship right now. By going through these videos and following along, participating, you've already shown me that you're someone who's really committed to new results in your relationship. And knowing that, I know you're the kind of person that I like to work with, because I like working with people that I believe I can really help. And because I think you're one of those people, I've created this special offer for you to participate in the Save. Because I like working with people I believe I can really help, and because I think you're one of those people, I've created this special offer for you to participate in the 7 Stages of Love coaching program. But there will only be a limited time period when you can take advantage of this remarkable offer. I have all the details for you about the program and how to get started in the next and final video. So look for that video in your inbox very soon. In the meantime, I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to hear the stage that you're in and what new actions you're going to be taking. So go to the bottom, if you will, and leave me a comment. I've been reading the comments and I'm happy to hear from everyone. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the final video. Good day.